Welcome to our 7th episode of Death of Tiberius Becomes Emperor. Let's begin our new episode. Rome believed the transition of power was complete, but history rarely moves in straight lines. Beneath the polished marble of the new emperor's reign, invisible cracks were spreading. Cracks that would soon reshape the empire in ways no one could yet imagine. The early months of Tiberius's rule were marked by an uneasy calm. Officially, the empire stood united behind him. Public celebrations honored Augustus's memory. Statues of the new emperor appeared in temples and public squares. The Senate issued praises, decrees, and oaths of loyalty. Everything looked orderly. But the truth was quieter, heavier, and far more fragile. Inside the imperial household, Livia continued to guide Rome with the same precision she had mastered under Augustus. Her presence radiated confidence, and many senators considered her a stabilizing force in a time of uncertainty. Yet her growing influence also cast a long shadow over Tiberius. Whispered conversations in private villas questioned whether the emperor ruled the empire or whether Livia ruled him. Meanwhile, the empire's vast borders reacted differently to the change in leadership. In the east, governors sent letters assuring their loyalty, yet anxiously waited for signs of new policies. In Africa, grain shipments flowed steadily, with an underlying fear that a small misstep might trigger imperial wrath. Along the Rhine, the legions still murmured restlessly, remembering how close they had come to open rebellion. Though Germanicus had restored order, the soldiers watched carefully for signs of weakness in Rome. Germanicus himself returned to the capital temporarily, celebrated as a hero. His arrival stirred the city like a gust of fresh wind. Crowds gathered to see him. Children memorized his name. Stories of his bravery spread through taverns and markets. He was young, charismatic, and everything Rome loved in a leader. Tiberius saw the admiration and remained silent. He said nothing in public, neither praise nor criticism. But inside the palace walls, he studied Germanicus's rising popularity with sharp, calculating attention. The empire could not afford a rival center of loyalty, not now, not when power still balanced on a delicate edge. At the same time, another figure moved quietly into greater importance. Sejanus. With calm eyes and a disciplined voice, he guided the Praetorian Guard into a unified, efficient force. He reorganized barracks, tightened discipline, and positioned key allies in strategic roles. To most citizens, he was invisible. To Tiberius, he appeared indispensable. A man who understood the emperor's fears without needing to be told. Sejanus became a solution to many problems. He handled disputes, monitored senators, and delivered reports so precise they bordered on prophetic. His loyalty seemed absolute, yet every step he took strengthened his own influence as much as it strengthened Rome. As winter approached, the city sensed a change in the emperor himself. Tiberius appeared in public less frequently. His speeches grew shorter, weighed down by responsibility and doubt. He valued stability above all else, but stability demanded vigilance, constant, exhausting vigilance. Soon the empire began to feel governed not by a man of flesh and warmth, but by a distant presence that watched from behind palace walls. Senators noticed their emperor's increasing withdrawal. Some interpreted it as wisdom. Others feared it was the beginning of something darker, a transformation into a ruler who trusted no one and listened even less. In this atmosphere of tension and careful silence, news arrived from the frontier. Germanicus was being prepared for a new command, a grand mission in the east, one that would test his loyalty, his ambition, and his relationship with the emperor. Tiberius approved the assignment with a controlled expression, yet those closest to him could sense the complexity behind his decision. Sending Germanicus away solved one problem, and created another. The empire stood on the edge of a shifting landscape. Germanicus's departure would open doors to triumph, tragedy, and political struggle that would echo for years. Rome believed it had seen the first trials of the new emperor, but the greatest turning point still waited beyond the horizon. A journey that would ignite rivalries, expose hidden enemies, and ultimately change the fate of both Tiberius and Germanicus. Dear viewers, thank you all for watching our 7th episode. The 8th episode will be uploaded very soon. Please stay tuned, subscribe, like, comment, and share to encourage us.